I have never been more aggressive or more horny than I was during my third trimester.
I don't care how mad you are, I've been taking these shots and you're gonna get over here right now and you're gonna do this whether you like me or not.
And people would be shouting at me, you shouldn't be outside, it's too cold.
Here's how you could kill the baby. You could eat something wrong, you could lay wrong, your body could rebel.
And I can explain it.
Sometimes he does these things that makes me crazy.
I should probably start this by saying I have never been more aggressive or more horny than I was during my third trimester. And, there were days when my husband would come home and there I was in the middle of the living room and he'd be all, you're naked again. And I was all, I know, I am. And he'd be all, have you looked at yourself lately? It was an odd situation for me to be in, to be so sexually aggressive when I was so massively pregnant.
We were married for 5 years or something like that before we had our first child because we had infertility issues. So let's just say that pre-child married sex was a bit utilitarian. It was a bit contrived. Compulsory wouldn't be too strong a word. It was more like, I don't care how mad you are, I've been taking these shots and you're gonna get over here right now and you're gonna do this whether you like me or not.
I remember hitting that hill that first day, gung-ho, ready to, lose the weight, 200 pounds. It was like 190 at that point, with Archer in the Bjorn. And the first person I see as I'm like hiking up the incline is Kate Bosworth. Kate Bosworth. The girl is like 85 pounds soaking wet. And, wow. Hi. You're looking good, Kate. I'm like 3 times your size.
If you're talking about celebrities, let's remember they get food delivered. They have trainers. I interviewed Jennifer Garner's trainer a little bit ago on my show, and when she's getting in shape for a role, she's working out like 2 hours minimum, 5-6 days a week. They're following a strict diet. They're not going to Chevy's for the fajitas. It's just not happening. But I think if you follow, this should be the diet book we put out, the Momversation diet book here, the new mom lifestyle. So even when you don't have a baby, I think you should walk around like you are holding something all the time and have it like an alarm go off every few minutes. So every time you try to put some food in your mouth, it goes, "Rah!" That's the way to lose weight.
When Henry was born, it was October, and I'm on the East Coast, so by the time he was a couple of months old, and I was going completely insane because he was super colicky and had terrible reflux, we would try to go outside, right? And I would bundle him up. I would have the onesie on with the flannel sleeper over that, and the hat, we need the hat, and the big fleecy over thing over that, and then he'd be in the baby Bjorn, which would be inside my coat, and people would be shouting at me, you shouldn't be outside, it's too cold. He would be soaked in sweat by the time I came home. He was so totally overheated because I was so afraid of the people yelling at me.
When I was pregnant, I was totally freaked out about labor, and I decided, I'd read like 1/15 of What to Expect When You're Expecting, and it's like, here's how you could kill the baby. You could eat something wrong, you could lay wrong, your body could rebel. And so I was like laying awake nights, like shaking with anxiety over all the things I could do to mess up this child who wasn't even born yet, and I just decided that's it. My imagination is good enough as it is. I don't need outside aid to think of all the ways that things could go drastically wrong here.
I grew up thinking that if you had sex outside of marriage, your eternal salvation was hanging in limbo and you're basically gonna go to hell. If she waits until she gets married, then awesome, but I don't, want to guilt her into that, and I want to make sure that I talk to her so that she's a responsible person when she becomes sexually active. I cannot believe I'm talking about my 4-year-old like this. This is just crazy and a little creepy, and I want to go take a shower.
Join the Momversation at momversation.com.